Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Yasser, for the introductions, and thank you to Peace and Sport for the invitation. I'm not even supposed to be here, because as a girl, dressed the way I'm dressed, supposed to be married, and a grandmother now. But when I was 6 years old, my father took my hand, and together we walked for over 2 kilometers to go and watch a game of football. I was the only girl in the room. I have 3 brothers and 1 sister, but every time there is a game of football, he'll always take me with him, and my younger sister also. And along the way, I realized, he has introduced me to something that one day I will fall in love with. But what I didn't know is, I'm not allowed to play. Not football, not any game. The only reason is I was born a girl. For my brothers, they were lucky they were born boys. At the age of 12, I watched a game between Cameroon and England. And I thought for the first time, Africa is going to win for us. But they didn't, they lost. And from that day on, something was born in me, a passion that I could not let go of. Unlike other girls in my village who are married by the age of 12, I was watching football, not in a real stadium, but on the screen. And because we didn't have a television, we will walk the 2 kilometers literally religiously to go and watch a game of football. My dad invested in my education. He was a teacher. My mom never went to school. So for her, she literally lived her dreams through me. So seeing me through school and making sure I go to high school was her dream. And true to her dream, I went to high school. But I wasn't just ready to be a secretary, a nurse, a teacher, what everybody else will describe for me as a profession. I wanted to be an advocate. And everybody looked at me like, for a girl from northern Kenya, this is a no-no. You cannot be an advocate. And I finished high school. I passed, and I went to university, and I did my law degree, and I became an advocate. And I was admitted to the bar, and that was the happiest day for my dad. And he said, now that you have your law degree, I want you to live in the city, live in Nairobi, and don't come back to the village, because every other time, the guns are always being shot, and people are being killed. It's not safe being in the village. It would have been so nice to live in the city, drive a cool Mercedes-Benz, live in a big house, maybe marry a rich guy. But that is not what I wanted. There was something in me that was still burning. The law corridors felt too small. I wanted a football pitch. But it's not allowed. So I go back home, and I'm sitting down, and I'm telling my dad, he asked, what are you doing here? You should be in court in Nairobi, practicing your law degree and earning some good money. I'm like, no, I want to play football. And he looks at me like, what? Play football? This is the same old man who took my hand when I was 6 years old and took me to watch a football game. When I was 12, when I'm supposed to be married, he's the same man who took me to watch another game again. And over, I kept on watching, but it's always from the sidelines. I wasn't playing. And while I came back home with my law degree, and I was helping the young girls who were being forcefully married, taking their cases up, I found something else. All the legislation we had, all the conventions we signed as a country, were not in practice. There was a huge gap between the actual law and the policy and the practice in the village. Because in the village, it's the elders who decided on the cases. So rape will be solved out of court, defilement will be solved out of court, divorce cases will be solved out of court. And elders will sit around under a tree, and this is where decisions are made. Not a single woman was allowed under the tree. I'm like, okay, it's a huge task now. The courts were empty because the cases don't make it there. So how do I change the mentality of the men in the village, but create a space for the women, but at the same time work with the younger girls in the school, in the villages? Shoot to Score, Not to Kill was born in 2005. One day, in July, there was a massacre in Marsabit. 100 children were killed. Their only crime, they were different tribe from the ones who were coming to fight. Unknown to me by then, I didn't know my own mother was a different tribe. My dad was one tribe, my mom was another. And here I am now with mixed blood. And my question to my elders and to my people was, if you can separate the blood in me to be Borana and Gabra, then you guys can start fighting. For as long as my blood is mixed and it's not fighting, I don't even understand why you guys are fighting. I was just talking alone. Again, it was the elders. No women, no young people. And with just a ball made out of trash, I walked to the field, and I asked the young boys, can we put the AK-47 down, and can we play a game of football? They looked at me with a ball made out of trash. An AK-47 is so powerful. What is she saying? But I knew from the beginning that this is a very powerful tool, football. And it's the only thing that can silence the guns. And I didn't rest. And every day there is a gunshot, I don't run away from it, I run to it to find out who fired that shot and how can I bring that person into my football. With shoot to score, not to kill, we have 3 halves. The third half is for dialogue. And within this dialogue, then we mix the teams, the tribes, and they're able to dialogue with each other and at one-on-one level and not look at each other as one tribe as another. And slowly, we started changing the mindset of the young people and talking to their heart. Yes, the AK-47 is a powerful tool you can carry around, fire a shot, take someone's life. With my football, no blood is shed, only sweat. No life is lost. Actually, more people are drawn to the football, and he has given birth to many young generations of peace builders. I'll share with you the story of 2 young people who have come through our football. One is of a young girl who came to me when she was 12 years old. And she said to me, I want to bring a team to play in your league. I'm like, have you ever played football? No. How are you going to put the team together? And she said, just give me a chance. And I knew from myself, if my dad did not hold my hand and take me to go and watch football, I will not be here today. And I said to the girl, okay, I'm giving you a chance. She surprised everybody, no coach, 0 training in football. And every time a goal was scored against her team, she'll break down and cry, scream to her teammates not to let any other goal in. That girl, Abale, she won the tournament, but she did not only win the tournament. Today she's in high school, and she will be the one taking over from me once I leave my organization. The second is of a young boy called Hussein. Hussein came to me when he had finished primary school, but we started with him when he was 9 years old. He almost committed suicide because the parents didn't have any money to pay for his school fees. And being drawn into violence, really, even you're paid even to join Al-Shabaab, which is like a terrorist group in northern Kenya. But through football, we've been able to literally transform him from what he would have been, like going out there and fighting with the gun. Now he fights with the ball. And he also trains other young people not to go into violence. Instead, through shoot to score, not to kill, he helps them change the mindset and see why peace is so important. Because in northern Kenya now, and the rest of Horn of Africa, how are we described? It's hunger, it's drought, it's deaths. We need to change this narrative. Nobody's going to do for us, and maybe even for the whole of Africa. And for me, as a veiled woman, people see someone who needs to be rescued. I don't need to be rescued. Just give me the ball, I'll score the goals myself. And it's high time. I think we invest in foot soldiers like myself and others who are out there silencing the guns. And I know all of us here do one thing or another. But the question to each one of you, we are all standing on the sidelines and cheering. I want you guys to get involved in the game. Get into the pitch with me. Get into the pitch with other foot soldiers who are out there doing the work that I'm doing. To just bring it all home, I know there are different challenges the world is facing today, from terrorism, other conflicts around the world. Climate change is another big monster that is going to consume all of us. But what options does sport offer? What options does football offer? And I'm looking at all the possibilities that football offers. And for me, shoot to score, not to kill, has literally silenced the guns in my villages. Today, in 152 villages, we're sitting together with the same elders whom I was told, no, you cannot even talk to them. No, women are not allowed under this tree. 60% of those villages now have women sitting under the tree with the elders to make decisions. 1,500 girls today are playing football, and we are breaking the silence on issues which we cannot discuss openly, things like FGM, female genital mutilation, early forced marriages, and even the right to be in school. And we could not have done it without football. And for the young people who are literally now leaving Africa, coming to Europe, it's out of vulnerability. And all the conflicts happening around the world, nobody else can stop it. Me and you can stop it. The young people who are carrying the guns, I don't have the powers to close down the factories, but I have the power to silence those guns and make sure no bullet is fired. The only bullet that will be fired will be the one of football, not the metallic one. And through this, then we will be able to change the mindsets of the young people we work with and ensure that they stay within the villages, they stay within the cities, make these cities safer so that they see the opportunities and they'll be able to grow into something better. But you need to hold my hand. It's been very lonely because literally I'm living on the edge. I don't know if I'll be there tomorrow. And unless each of you literally invest into what I am doing and other foot soldiers on the ground, then we will be singing the same song over and over again, and nothing changes. But imagine for 1 second if all of us here invested in shooting to score, not to kill. How will the world be? Imagine a world where the guns will be there, yes, because the factories still produce them, but no young people carry them. No young people fire the bullets. Imagine a world where a girl like me, who is supposed to be married and a grandmother, I have a choice and I have a voice. Thank you.